Hey, everybody in Facebook land. It's great to have you with us on this Memorial Day, on this holiday. We hope you're having a safe one and a meaningful Memorial Day so far. It's really my honor to host our guest this afternoon for our StreamYard and our chat this afternoon. Liette Reback is one of the most impressive people in our community, I have to say. I've interviewed a lot of people over the years and had the privilege of profiling so many people who do incredible work. And this woman just doesn't ever stop. Every holiday, she is out with her team of her army of volunteers, as she calls them. And she is doing it again on this Memorial Day. So Liette Reback, welcome to the show, the program this afternoon. We hope you're having a safe one.
We are enjoying a Memorial Day. Thank you, Anna, for having us.
Absolutely. So a little bit of background for folks who haven't, I can't imagine anybody who hasn't heard about Liette Reback and the incredible work she does, because you're just everywhere all the time. However, there might be a few. So I want to introduce you properly. Liette Reback has an incredible charity foundation nonprofit. It's based in Palm Beach County, and she serves the entire nation, Gold Star families in all 50 states of our country, really propping them up, delivering Christmas gifts to Gold Star children. These are children who lost their mothers and fathers in battle and service to our nation. And so she does this year after year during the holiday season, and she takes all the money she has left over to then begin propping up families, Gold Star families all across the nation by remodeling homes if they need it, or just filling whatever need they have. So truly an honor to have you here. And you do every Memorial Day this thing called lemonade stands. Can you tell us about that? You're doing them today.
Hey, we've been doing lemonade stands probably since Wednesday all over Palm Beach County, but really all over the country. So the idea behind lemonade is when life hands you lemons, make lemonade, do something good with it. And our families that we serve, families of fallen soldiers, they've been hit with the roughest loss. Their son, their husband, their father, their sister, their brother, their daughter. They've lost a loved one serving in our nation's military. So we want to do something sweet for them on Memorial Day. And honestly, the funds that we raise to help these families over Memorial Day weekend, that's fantastic. But what's really important too is that we give kids and families all across the country something to do over Memorial Day weekend to honor these families. You know, I love that people go to the beach, especially we live here in South Florida, and it's so beautiful, and you cannot find parking at the beach. I love that people are enjoying this holiday and getting out there, enjoying a lovely long weekend. But it is really, really, really important that we give our kids and families something to stop and think about, and really a way to serve these families of fallen soldiers over Memorial Day weekend. So that's what we do. We set up these lemonade stands. We have kids all across the country. We have Gold Star kids all across the country that have set up stands and helped us to raise money to pay for some of our big projects like American Gold Star Christmas or the House That Love Built, where we help families who need to be restored to home ownership.
I want to tackle all of those and talk. We have a nice long format here that we can chat for a little while, Liette, and cover all the good work you do. And of course, the Freedom 4 Miler that you host on 4th of July, which is magnificent. If you've never run it, it's the most impressive race I've ever been in. I'm not a big runner, but when I run this race, I'm just so filled with patriotism and love of our country. And so thank you for that. We'll get to that in just a minute. But let's talk about what you're doing with literally, like you said, you're kind of raising up this next generation of kids to understand what Memorial Day is when you're out there serving lemonade and raising money for this charity that serves our nation's fallen soldiers who have fallen for our freedom, right? They died for our freedoms. And you're training these children, this next generation, to understand that with every glass of lemonade. That is so very special. How many people do you think, it's not just South Florida, but how many people do you think are hosting lemonade stands today across the country?
Well, 2021 is almost as interesting as 2020. So we do have stands. Oh my gosh, my best guesstimate right now is somewhere between 10 to 15 different states. We've got, like I said, we've got elementary aged kids, we've got middle schoolers, some high schoolers. We have Gold Star families. We have families that are veterans that are, doing this in honor of people that they know that fell in service with them. Hard to know how many stands. We'll be able to count it all up when it's all said and done, probably by Wednesday, but dozens upon dozens of stands, which is hundreds of children And I was serving with a couple of boys on Saturday at the beach, and they they overcame a lot of adversity to get this lemonade out there. But what I loved was they came up with their own line, and they said the lemonade is free, but your freedom isn't. And these are 11, 12, 13-year-old boys who the
Wow.
light went off in their head.
Yeah.
And that was the turning point when they came up with that line and they were passing out lemonade. That's when people started turning around and putting money in the bucket, or on our signs we have a QR code that takes them straight to a place where they can donate. And so to see kids, it's hot and people aren't always so polite. They had to overcome all that, and they came up with something that I said, boys, y'all might have landed on a good marketing tagline for me there. And so that's really what this is about, is giving kids the opportunity to serve these families, really put feet to their feelings. Or maybe even for some of them, just to introduce them to the idea. I've had lots of kids come up to our stand today, and I'll say, do you know what we are celebrating today? Do you know what we are honoring today? And a lot of kids said no. A lot of kids said, oh, it's veterans. And I was like, well, you're close. It's to stop and honor our families that have lost a loved one in service to our nation's military. So really, serving these families, that bringing hope and help to Gold Star families, that's our tagline. But almost as important is our mission to educate the next generation how very expensive their freedom is.
Leah, you sent in a clip of some young men who were probably at that surf shop that's behind you, but you had a small army of them a short time ago, and you sent in that clip. So I'm going to ask our producers to cue that up. It's super quick, and I'll see you on the other side of it. Let's roll that real quick.
Sure.
Come to our lemonade stand at Blue Line Surf Channel.
So that is what you're doing with this initiative, is giving those young men something to do on this day that's meaningful, and to spread that message and just raise up the next generation, like you said.
Yep, raise up the next generation of great Americans. Freedom is only ever one generation away from extinction, and we have to teach our children this from a very early age. Their right to succeed or fail, their right to give something a try, or to speak their mind, or to do something great for themselves or for their country, came at a really high cost for our families. And so we just want them to really understand how precious their freedom is. So, for example, at Christmas time, when we have students come in and help us wrap thousands upon thousands upon thousands of gifts for our Gold Star families, they're given a piece of paper that has the name of the family that they're serving, a picture of the fallen soldier, a picture of his family, and then the story of their family, maybe how they met, or maybe where he served, and how much they miss their loved one. And you can really see these kids start to understand, oh, this is not just some nameless, faceless something that I'm packing. These are kids that don't have a mom or a dad. And that guy went off, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. So it's honestly, it's an honor to serve these families. It's an honor to get to teach the next generation. And so that's really, that's what Memorial Day is really all about, is honoring these families. This is a physical way that kids can do it. We've got kids doing lemonade stands at the end of their driveway. Some of them doing it at their parents' place of business. We're here at Blue Line Surf Shop. We've been here all day in the heat, but I think I've gone to that Coral Cones down the way about 10 times with some of these kids today, just keeping them juiced up on sugar so they can sell some lemonade. And it's been an awesome day, and it's been great, the generosity of the people of Jupiter.
It's amazing. It's incredible what you do, Leah. I talked to you early this morning, and for those of you who are joining us, this woman is nonstop from January 1st until December 31st, serving Gold Star families across the country with, Valentine's Day, sending out little messages or notes or scarves to the wives or spouses of our servicemen and women who've fallen. And you do it again, through all holiday seasons and Memorial Day, 4th of July. Let's talk about 4th of July. That is such an important event for your organization. So all of this that we're talking about falls under the umbrella of Believe With Me, which was an organization you found. And I just love this story so much. I can't tell it enough about how it came about. But Believe With Me is the source that feeds all these initiatives you do, propping up Gold Star families throughout the country. So the Freedom 4 Miler is your big initiative. Let's talk about that real quick, and then let's talk about where the money goes to and the start of Believe With Me in the first place. Start with the Freedom 4 Miler. Why is that such an important event for you on the 4th of July, Liette?
So the Freedom 4 Miler is in Tequesta, and it is a 4-mile race, but lots of people walk it because there's just so much action on that course. But it starts at Constitution Park, fittingly, which is a beautiful park in Tequesta, right there at Seabrook Drive and Dover Road. And it goes all through the tree-lined streets of Tequesta and Tequesta Country Club. The entire 4 miles is lined with flags. Each mile is named after a local fallen soldier, and their family is there at the race. So the experience of each mile, it'll say, let's say, for example, one year we had Ian Zook. So he was a Marine corporal. His family lives in Port St. Lucie. Karen and Mark Zook, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet in your whole life. And they came, and Ian, if it was Ian's favorite movie was Rocky, well, then there was music playing from Rocky, somebody there pretending like they're Rocky dressed up. If his favorite candy was Laffy Taffies, kids are tossing out Laffy Taffies, and there's a sign that tells you. One year, one of our boys, he had bought a 57 Apache truck right before he deployed, and with his dad. And he said, "Daddy, when I come home, we're going to rebuild this truck." Well, we found a 57 Apache truck, and his dad stood out there on the mile with the sign that told the story of the truck. So there's just dozens of ways along that mile that you are taught about this soldier. And I tell every runner before we start, every time you see a sign with their name, say it out loud, because their family's on that mile somewhere, and they're going to hear some people saying their name over and over again. One year, Lisa Heinz, who's another Gold Star mom from Port St. Lucie, her son's favorite snack was, cheesecake, apple strudel, caramel, something or other. And she baked dozens of these things. And then she sat out on his mile with a picture of her son and little bitty tiny samples and passed them to every runner. I think that mother was hugged by all 1,300 of our racers. But she said she had not ever been so happy since her son had passed away, by receiving all that love and all that gratitude from all of our runners. So it's a race. And it's a fundraiser, but it's also an opportunity for our Gold Star families that we serve to come out and receive the love and gratitude, and to have their loved ones' names said, and to see how grateful our community is for this opportunity to say thank you, and for their service and sacrifice and continued sacrifices on our behalf. So the Freedom 4 Miler, it's a race, but it's unlike any race that you've ever done or experienced. And I don't think anybody crosses the finish line without smiling and crying at the same time, because it's just a very moving event. And it's just the most incredible way to start your Independence Day by honoring and thanking the families that paid for it, honestly.
I was biting back tears as you were telling the stories of those moms just now. And I've been to your race. It's our family's favorite 4th of July activity, a must do now for my whole family. It is just so meaningful to start that way. So you're so right, Liette. Can we throw up that full screen one more time so we can remind everybody who's joining us on Facebook and anywhere you're joining us from right now? Freedom 4 Miler is July 4th at 7:15 in the morning. That's when the race starts. It's at Constitution Park in Tequesta. Just a beautiful run and route. It's so beautiful and peaceful. And at the end of the race, it's just a carnival-like atmosphere in just such a special way with pancakes and, as Leah was mentioning, candy. And it's just such a celebration. It's so fun. All proceeds go to benefit Gold Star families in 50 states through the Believe With Me Foundation. I have a couple comments coming in, Leah. People are so moved by what you do. A lot of people don't understand that freedom isn't free. Thomas D. Donato mentioned that. Absolutely. You're so right. And that is what you imprinted by giving the gift of the lemonade stand today on Memorial Day to those young men who were on that beach and said, the lemonade's free, but your freedom is not, right? So you're so right, Thomas. Thanks for chiming in on that. Anna Dietz texted in or messaged in the chat here. Liette, she said, she is amazing indeed. So grateful for all you do for us. And Lauren Berkson just chimed in, grateful for your support. Just so much love, Liette, that you spread throughout our community, and just such an honor that you're able to, again, I think your young men or a couple of your kiddos are right behind you, that you're letting the kids do the work for you. So you're teaching them along the way. So, okay. So the Freedom 4 Miler and this lemonade stand money, let's talk about the Believe With Me charity now. And this is how I met you. Actually, I had met you years ago, and it was through a number of different friends and circles. And I attended one of your little classes many moons ago. I don't even know if you know that. But anyway, I digress. But we met, and I was able to share your story about Believe With Me. And that is such an incredible story of how you founded this charity. You had hosted some Gold Star moms through some circle of friends. You had called your kids in your home to kind of be the hands and feet and serve them that day. I think it was on Valentine's Day. Is that right? Some Gold Star wives, or was it?
Yeah, moms. You're right. It was moms. We had, well, what had happened was funny story. So the long story of it is I, on a last minute thing, decided to take my kids for the 70th anniversary of D-Day. I told my husband on Wednesday that Friday we were driving up to Virginia because we were going to meet a bunch of World War II veterans who had been at D-Day and tell them thank you. And my husband, thankfully, is a wonderful man, and he's used to these great ideas. So we packed all the kids, we headed up to Virginia, and we handed out notes and just said thank you to all these World War II veterans. Well, there just so happened to be a Martin County fireman. His name is Daniel Hudnett, and he is a former Marine. I should say former Marine. He was in the Marine Corps, but you're never supposed to say that they are no longer Marines.
Right.
Anyway,
he's a Marine.
He's Marine. Daniel tells me, I think you need to meet this lady named Karen Vaughn. Her son was a Navy SEAL. I think you'd really like her. She's a great lady, awesome family, and I just think you need to meet her. So that's June. July 4th, I just sent a tweet and sent it to her and just said, hey, here's the picture of my 4 little boys, and said, in honor of men like your son, Aaron, I vow to raise these boys to be grateful Americans, or something like that. I don't remember. But she didn't realize that we only lived about 30 minutes apart.
Wow.
So I went to an engagement where she was speaking and introduced myself. And it was one of those things where, sometimes you meet somebody and you're just like, we're supposed to be friends.
Right.
We're supposed to be friends. And that's how I felt when I met her. And as we were talking, I just said to her, this loss is not for nothing. And I asked her to believe with me. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. Now, Karen Vaughn is a force to be reckoned with, and she really didn't need to believe with me. I believed with her. She's an amazing woman. But that's kind of how we got started. So from that meeting, I was at the time hosting a group of women early in the mornings for a Bible study at my home. And I just tossed out the idea to them. I said, ladies, why don't we host a dinner for these moms who lost a child serving in the military? And they all thought it was a great idea. So we hosted this dinner with about 10 local Gold Star mothers. And it was so powerful that night. We had out of the probably 30, 45 women that were civilians that were there. 2 of them wrote me later and said, I was considering divorce. I didn't know my marriage could make it. And then I met this Gold Star mom and I thought, I'm just going to fight for it. Like they gleaned so much strength from these women who'd been through the hardest thing that anyone can ever face, which is losing a child. And that week, my husband and I said, I don't know what we just hit here, but we hit something. I think we need to do something with it. So we turned it into a nonprofit. And the next thing that we did was about October, I saw a social media post from a widow who'd lost her husband that was serving. And she said, I'm a little tight for cash at Christmas. Does anybody know of any organizations that help families like mine? It was just a random, I don't even remember who said it. I don't remember which widow said it. And I came out to my kids and I had looked around and I said, I've looked everywhere and nobody's doing this. I thought for sure when I read that, I'm like, I went to go look thinking, sure, I'll tell her who does it. Well, nobody did it. So I came out to my kids who had a high school project due for some leadership thing they were involved in. And I said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we do this? And that's all she wrote,
This, just to be clear, if our audience, we want to make sure they're keeping up with us and we're getting more people jumping in and making comments. But this was the ask from that widow, that mom was, is there a charity that might help out some Gold Star families? I hate to ask, but I'm on some tough times and it's been tight since my loss. And is there a charity that might do holiday gifts or help out through the holiday season so I can put a few things under the tree at Christmas? And it was a very humble ask. And it was almost like a convicting, okay, we're going to do this. And it just went from there. The whole thing just took off from there, where you started taking requests from Gold Star families across the country who, Christmas wish lists from children of fallen soldiers. And, they're waking up on Christmas morning and, you've said in the past, they wake up without their mother and father, at least they can open up a gift and open up something that says, the people of this nation are with you and we did not forget you.
So like, of the families that we serve, we serve all manner of military deaths. So if it's killed in action, killed in training, PTS suicide, active duty accident, service-connected illness. And so with that being said, a lot of people will say, well, don't they get, money when their loved one dies? Well, okay, first of all, it depends on how things were sussed out in a will. And second of all, this aspect of our charity does not exist really as a charity. It's really out of honor and gratitude. So I'm not asking somebody when they register their children, I check their paperwork. They have to send us paperwork to be verified, but I'm not asking them their financial situation. It is my honor. And I feel like it is all of our duty to send something to these kids and let them know that America remembers the loss of their loved one. So, saying that because some of our families do not have financial need. And sometimes I have to call some of these families and say, why did you not sign up your kids? Because they'll say, we don't need it. We don't want to take from somebody else. I said, I will find the money. I will beat the bushes. Don't say, I don't want to take from somebody else. We want to give to your kids to let them know year after year after year when that package shows up, whether the loss happened 2 years ago or 15 years ago, that we love them. We remember their father, they are honored, or their mother. And so that aspect is really, yes, we are a charity, but I got to tell you, it is rare that our families ask us for anything. It is usually someone near or around them that will say, they won't ask, but I know that this is a need or this is something that they could use some help with, So, because these families they're amazing and they are so inspiring. Every time I talk to any of our widows or any of our parents or siblings of fallen soldiers, the strength that they have is, I serve them because I need some of that.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. You learn from all of it, don't you, Liette?
So much.
It's so true. And it fills you, I know, as much as you bless them. So, and then after you do that through the holiday season, then you start working on raising money to restore homes and refurbish homes for the families of fallen soldiers who maybe you shared a story one time. We covered it for your organization. I think it was around the February time and February window, and you had refurbished a family's home. They had lost their son, and they were in the process of remodeling. And when you came across them, it had been, I think it was a number of years, and their toilet had never been put back together because through their grief, they couldn't get their home back together. They just couldn't make their way. And you came in with this army and just fixed it all.
Because that was a surprise. We had told them that we were just going to kind of help, paint and do some yard work, and sent this family on a little vacation. And we pulled in their surviving son and daughter helped us, and then we had hundreds of people come, and we did everything from roof to windows to bathrooms to floors to drywall to backyard deck, landscape. I mean, you name it. We got to do it, and appliances, kitchen. It was awesome. We did it in 6 days. And when I tell you that so many businesses came and gave so much towards this cause, and it was so amazing. And this family comes around the corner as we present them with the house, and they said, "Is our house?" It was just awesome, and it was honestly one of the best memories I think I'll take to my grave, because to have so many people just, what can I do? At one point we had 2 building companies fighting because you didn't tell us about this in time, and I was like,
so you said, I'll find another family that we can help. I know
that's not a problem.
Yeah,
it was just so exciting. So now those projects, that's called the House That Love Built, and those have come to include everything from we had a family in Port St. Lucie was just gifted a home by Synergy Homes and furnished it. So that's great, right? Because I can make a list on Amazon, and I can and it just boom gets done. And we at a beautiful home. Synergy gave them a beautiful home, and we just put the finishing touches on it. It was lovely. We've done everything from renovating homes to purchasing homes. That's a heavy lift, especially right now in this economy. Goodness gracious.
No kidding.
But, we have another family in Port St. Lucie that we are working with the city of Port St. Lucie and working to try and find a builder that would, the city will gift the lot. We need a builder to gift the home, or we need subcontractors that will come in and do the work at a greatly reduced cost, which is not an easy ask right now because the cost of supplies are going through the roof. But I'm telling you this because there might be viewers out there who can do that, who can say, I got a drywall company, or I've got an electrical company, or what have you. But so that's the House That Love Built, and that incorporates, could be anything from just furnishing to just landscaping to the whole kit and caboodle. Just really depends. But all of the things that we do, like the Freedom 4 Miler and Lemonade, and we have a gala in Tampa in December. All of those things, that's our fundraisers to help help pay for those things. But I'm going to tell you, because I know you have such an intelligent and incredible audience, that my vision for the Freedom 4 Miler is that Tequesta would be race number 1 out of 50. That we would have these races all across the country, a place where our Gold Star families could go and be honored and be joyful on Independence Day. A place where on the 4th of July, all at once, all across the country, we're giving Americans the opportunity to get up front and close and personal with the families that have paid for it. So that's my long-term vision. And I think that our experiences in Tequesta have proven to us that we could execute that. We just need cities and people to say, hey, I'll help. So I'll throw that out there, because I know that there might be some people watching that say, well, I got a uncle in, wherever, and we can get that going. So,
well, my experience with you is that when you say it's going to be done, it's going to be done. And so I look forward to being back with you here in another maybe 2 or 3 years and interviewing you again on Memorial Day about Lemonade Stand and talking about the Freedom 4 Miler, and not just Tequesta, but perhaps one in every like you mentioned, state in our union. So what a blessing that would be, Leighet Rebec. You're such a gift and such an inspiration. So once again, if you're just hopping on, a couple of you are chiming in, watching in Virginia, Pam Dadiomoff, my apologies if I didn't get that completely right, but she's watching from Virginia, and she says, "Go believe with me. Leette's the hardest working mom I know." And I would second that for sure. So if you've just joined us, we're kind of closing out here, but Believe with Me is the overarching umbrella of all these initiatives throughout the year where they just lift up and love on Gold Star families in all 50 states in our country. And Leette is the founder of this beautiful organization. Today, she's hosting lemonade stands, not just in our community, but all across the nation. And in many cases, if we could throw up a couple of photos, if you guys don't mind, producers, and just share as we close out here. These are some snapshots of our amazing young folks across our country raising money for the Believe with Me charity, which really props up Gold Star families everywhere. So
that family that you shared that first picture of there where they had the little sign that said "Some gave all," that is one of our Gold Star families.
Oh, and, right there.
And that mother called me yesterday, and she's a rock star. And she was crying, but she was so happy. She said, "You made my kids smile on the worst weekend." And I think at last count, they were up past $1,500. But
oh my goodness.
To say that, without companies that support us, like Bolé, here locally. I mean, we would have never gotten off the ground if it weren't for the founder of Bolé, Chris Gannon, being at our first meeting saying, "I think I know somebody at FedEx," and getting all of our shipping underwritten and giving us office space and continually contributing to our cause. Or we have a defense contractor over in Tampa, Iron Eagle X, put the ball rolling to help us get this gala off the ground. Or, even locally, Paul David Jewelers. They have tirelessly supported us by giving us raffle or auction items and helping us. This Valentine's Day, they donated all of the earrings for us to send to all of our widows. So and I got a team of ladies that work with me, Amanda, Rachel, Lori, Paula, Holly. These girls, I mean, we're all moms. We've all got kids. We've got schools and sports. Homeschool, some of us, and all that, and it's wee hours of the morning. We're texting back and forth, and so there is some really great people that I get to do this work with that have become like family, and I'll call Uncle Mike at Iron Eagle X and say, "Uncle Mike, I got a family in Tampa that needs help. Here's what needs to happen." Or Uncle Chris at Bolé, I've got a family that's right here in Port St. Lucie. They need this, that, and the other. These people, they jump at the opportunity to help and lead their companies in that same vein. Like today, if you go to a Bolé today, there is a table set up for a fallen soldier with all these symbolic pieces.
Wow.
Every one of their guests, that your opportunities today and your freedoms to honor and celebrate this holiday came at a high cost. Like, that's amazing to me to see that. And if we can just continue to educate and encourage people to look at the good in this country. Before we go, there's one thing I've really wanted to share with a lot of people. So I know we've got a great audience right now.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be married to the most amazing man for the last 28 years, David Reback. I don't know how he puts up with me, but he's amazing. And now he is amazing, but he's not perfect, right? I mean, he's a very good man. And if my mother-in-law is watching, he's a great man. Okay. But he's not perfect. But if I just looked at his faults continually, and I just called out his faults and all the, very little things that he does wrong, but that's all I stared at and talked about, we would not be married for 28 years, right? And so I know in this country we have challenges and we have things that we need to face. We need to grow up and face, and we need to work towards making a difference in these areas where we see that we failed or we've fallen short of our ideals. But at the same time, we have to look at the good, and we have to choose to be grateful if we're going to keep this incredible country and these opportunities for our children. That would be like one thing that I would just say before we have to go. Please remember, as it's become really popular to point out the black eyes or the mistakes or the bruises and bumps along our country's history, we also have to stop and think that this country was good enough for over 1.5 million men and women to give their lives to sacrifice for us since 1776. I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people who thought that she was worth dying for. And all of our men and women who are in the armed forces today, none of them were drafted. None of them were forced.
Yeah.
They all signed an oath saying, I will defend this Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, up to and including my life, if necessary. Now, they don't go in saying that's what they want to do, but we have served over 8,000 Gold Star family members that have lost a loved one who did. And so that's really, really vital. This is an amazing country full of incredible opportunities. We have the freedom to speak, to assemble. We have the freedom of religion. We have the freedom to protect ourselves. We have the freedom to a trial by jury, all these incredible things, because a lot of people have paid for that price. So, that's what I think is the most important thing for us to remember as we're thinking about our country and as it's become popular to just point out her faults. I would say that's not the way to make a marriage work. And it's not the way to look at your country, and if there's something that really hurts your heart or bothers you desperately about this country, then let's get about the work of fixing it. Let's find some people who are like-minded and say, this is a problem we need to address, and let's go after it with everything, because in America, we can do that.
Absolutely. So well said, Leanne. And thank you for kind of winding down with that. If you're joining us right now, we'd love to see your comments in the comments section. Just what are you doing on this Memorial Day to commemorate the lives lost, the men and women who laid down their lives so that we would have freedom on this day? That is what Memorial Day is about. And our producers are also asking if you have a special serviceman or woman in your life that you would like to shout out their names. We'd love to see them in the comments section as well. Leah, you're such an inspiration. Thank you for calling on our kids to do more. As you mentioned, pool parties and especially this year, just time together is such an incredible gift, right? Being together. But I heard one Gold Star mom we interviewed on Friday, and she said, please have your backyard picnics. Please have your celebrations, have your pool time celebration, get back together. Let's celebrate being back together. But please take just a couple of minutes to think about the men and women who gave you the freedom to gather and be together and celebrate together, the people who laid down their lives, and those of us who are without them on this day. That's what this day is all about. And so with your lemonade stand and your army of young folks out there, you are helping us all remember exactly that on this day. So thank you for that. And we'll look forward to your Freedom 4-miler. If we could throw up that full screen one more time. If you don't have anything going on 4th of July in the morning, let me tell you, nothing will move you like Believe With Me's Freedom 4-miler, July 4th at 7:15 in the morning, Constitution Park in Tequesta, and all the proceeds will go to do all these amazing things, this incredible work that this incredible Liette Rebeck Imagineers year after year after year. Liette, thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us today. You're a gift to our community and our nation for sure. We're really grateful for all you do.
Thank you, Shannon, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and to tell people. And I'm just truly grateful for your friendship. I'm truly grateful for your station and how you just continue to help us get the word out about these opportunities. We're looking for volunteers. You can go to BelieveWithMe.com. You can donate there, or you can sign up there to volunteer for our race. We're going to need a lot of helping hands. If you don't want to race, let your friends, let your family know. And come out. There's a kids 1-miler, there's a kids 100-yard cupcake dash, and a snowball fight. We get snowballs from behind. I think that's my favorite memory of the whole year is these kids. We have. I mean, it's hot.
I know.
Pelting each other with these snowballs, and it is just so fun. So
it is so fun. It is so fun. And I'll be there. My whole crew will be there, and I'll be jumping on and looking for ways that my family can volunteer to your organization. We love you so much, Liette. So grateful for all you do and for your time today. I know you're busy out there.
Hey, enjoy, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.